Out of that bizarre turn in the Russia investigation, former Trump aide Sam Nunberg says he'll refuse to appear before the special counsel's grand jury. Also says he believes that Mueller may have something on President Trump. Claims came in a stunning series of interviews. Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has all the latest. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. A little-known political advisor to President Trump's campaign, who was fired, dominated the headlines yesterday, overtaking cable TV news for hours. An appearance so odd, he was asked if he was intoxicated. By the end of the day, it came to this for Sam Nunberg, a past political advisor to then-candidate Trump.
Yeah. I have smelled alcohol on your breath.
Well, I have not had a drink. The answer is no. I have not.
Anything else?
No.
In a day of accusations at one point, Nunberg suggesting on CNN that the president knew about the Trump Tower meeting with the Russians set up to get dirt on candidate Hillary Clinton before it happened.
There's been a consistent message from Team Trump, which is that Donald Trump himself did not know about this meeting.
What do you think?
You tell me.
I mean, if you see there's something he said I already saw that within a week, or he said something, we're going to find something out about Hillary Clinton within a week. I don't know why he couldn't just admit that he knew about this meeting.
Do you believe that he knew about that meeting?
I think he knew it.
Nunberg also said that Trump may have done something wrong during the campaign.
Do you think that they have something on the president?
I think they may.
What?
I think that he may have done something during the election, but I don't know that for
Why
sure.
do you think that?
I can't explain it unless you were in there.
The White House having to quickly respond, dismissing Nunberg, again saying there was no collusion with the Russians.
As we've said many times before, there was no collusion with the Trump campaign. Anything further on what his actions are, he hasn't worked at the White House, so I certainly can't speak to him or the lack of knowledge that he clearly has.
Nunberg offered no evidence to back up his claims, but says Mueller has subpoenaed all documents, emails, texts, and otherwise, any communications he may have had with a who's who among top Trump campaign officials and eventual White House aides.
They sent me a subpoena where they asked me after November 1 of 2015, did I communicate with Carter Page, Corey Lewandowski? I mean, I despise Corey. Why would I communicate with him? Hope Hicks?
Nunberg said last night that Mueller had offered immunity, but said he was frustrated with the special counsel. All day, he said he would refuse to turn over documents and would not show up to testify before a grand jury, at one point even saying, arrest me. But by last night, Nunberg was suggesting he would end up cooperating. So at this point, who knows what's going to happen, George?
Who knows? Let's talk about it. Thank you, Pierre, with our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. He has to cooperate. If he doesn't, he's going to jail.
That's right. And it would be civil contempt, meaning the idea would be you've got the key to get out of jail. As soon as you decide to cooperate, as soon as you decide to do what you're legally required to do, you can get out. So it's not intended to be a punishment. It's just intended to get someone to do it. They'd have to go to court. A court would order it. And that's where he'd end up. So I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to go to that length.
And Nunberg may not be the most reliable narrator, but what's most significant about what he says are the questions that Mueller is asking. The president has said for months, collusion, no collusion, no collusion, no collusion. It's pretty clear from the questions that Mueller is still investigating that.
That's right. You can ignore everything he's saying about his analysis of the situation. You can't ignore what he's saying he's being asked to turn over, because that does tell us not what's going on in his head, but what's going on in Robert Mueller's head. And that's the significance here. Meaning, if Mueller is now asking these sorts of questions, it means that he is investigating possible collusion with the Trump campaign. We've known that. This is further evidence of that, and it certainly means that this investigation's heating up.
And there's so much focus on this Trump Tower meeting in June of 2016. Again, Nunberg, not the most reliable narrator, but what would it mean if President Trump knew about that meeting ahead of time?
This is the single most important meeting that we know about because it was pre-planned. It was to get information about Hillary Clinton.
Dirt on Hillary from Hillary Clinton, yeah.
And it's with the Russians. And so if he knew about that meeting, that would be a very important point in the context of this investigation. I think a lot of this investigation starts from the point of that meeting. Who knew about it? Why did they go? What were they expecting? How was it set up? Why was it set up? What information did they have up to that point? So that meeting is just critical.
And whether, because we also know from the questions that Nunberg talks about, were people speaking Russian in Trump Tower, questions about President Trump's business interests, that's all significant if he was pursuing this Moscow Tower.
Well, and that's why, again, they're asking questions about President Trump's relationship with Russia before 2016 when it comes to financial connections, because you have to be able to look at this as pieces in a puzzle.
Clear, the scope of this investigation is very wide.
Yep.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.